Hello everybody, welcome back. ZDS here, bringing you part 28. I keep losing track about the numbers. Oh, and just for the record, my buddy Alex will not be joining me for any future videos. He really did not like Pokemon at all and did not want to participate. And then something went wrong, and I mean, we're still buddies, but something went wrong with him, so yeah, I'm not going to divulge that. Either way, I'm going to continue this Let's Play solo for the rest of the Let's Play, because I know damn well none of my other friends are going to want to fucking join me on this. So as you can see, we left off in front of Pony Canyon, in front of Lily's beautiful face. We're going to go ahead inside here. This is the, I want to say, largest dungeon in the entire game, if you want to call it a single dungeon. It also, in my opinion, has the best soundtrack in the entire game. The music of Vast Pony Canyon is without a doubt my favorite song. I absolutely adore this music. I literally will like listen to this music for like hours just as a background thing while I'm doing other projects. It's kind of like something you'd hear in like I don't know, I can think of a couple different scenarios, like hear it on a plane, hear it in a mellow bar. I don't know. Stuff like that. And here comes the yawn apocalypse again. As always. Alrighty. So I'm gonna try to finish this as best I possibly can, and then work on some more Let's Plays actually, because I kind of want to make some more stuff after this. Now that I've switched at the time of this recording, my Let's Play videos to the main channel, and the Let's Play channel has now been retired. I have more incentive to actually put more content out because I actually have somewhat of a bigger audience on the main channel. Hopefully enough to make a damn difference, but we'll have to see on that, won't we? Oh yeah, and Poipole might be making an appearance on my team. I don't know quite yet. I do love Komodo, don't get me wrong, but Naganadel is like one of my favorite dragon types. And it is, without a doubt, my first or second favorite poison type. Poipole evolves into Naganadel when it learns the move Dragon Pulse. And then levels up once. But this video is probably going to be the normal length of 20-25 minutes, unlike the last video, which was pretty short. Just because it'll depend on how quick it takes me to run out of breath. See, because I can talk in like short bursts, but when I have to make a consistent effort to speak during a video, it can get kind of tiring. God, Lily is so cute. Stop being beautiful, you fucking gorgeous girl. And my fucking character is just like, oh, I'm here, hi. Fucking big ass glasses. I want to change my character's design too. I'm gonna fucking use PK Hex later to give myself all the clothing and then just mix and match with whatever I want. I might go all red or all black. Not that red and black are my favorite colors, it's just they're my favorite colors to wear as clothing. My favorite colors are gold and silver, but you put a 300-pound man in a fucking gold or silver fucking outfit, it ain't gonna look right. Alright, wait a minute, hold on. Let me see who I got here. It's still the same teams, Aurora, Delphox, Lurantis, Primarina, Solgaleo. Let's give Prima a little bit more shining something. Hold on. Is she shiny? Speaking of, is she shiny? No, I'm gonna make her shiny later. Partially because I love her shiny coloring, but also because unlike in Sun and Moon, when you approach the top of the fucking mountain, Mount Lanakila, I believe it is, to go to the Elite Four, before Kukui interrupts you before you get in there, whatever starter you chose comes out of its Pokeball and then looks at you in like a 3D model, in person, quote unquote. And I kind of want to see that as a shiny Primarina, because I've already seen it with regular. I've never seen it with shiny. That's the beauty of PK Hex. I can do whatever the fuck I want with these games. I'm also noticing that I'm getting a little bit more frame dips than usual right now, but Vast Pony Canyon does have a lot of taller areas that have to load a lot more textures. It does bother me that the fucking frame rate's not consistent, but I mean, it is better than nothing. Alright, a BHM. Do I have Shadow Ball on you? No, I do not. I have Hidden Power Ground. Yeah, fuck it, Moonblast. Fuck! Welcome back to the Yawn Apocalypse, starring me. I did finally find out why I yawn so much when I'm recording. It's my body temperature rapidly increasing when I turn my air conditioner off, so it's not blaring in the background when I'm doing the videos. I probably shouldn't have sent out Delphox, but whatever. Delphox isn't exactly the Pokemon that's going to need to be used against a Bayonet, but fuck it. As long as the fucking thing doesn't have fucking Shadow Sneak or Sucker Punch, it's fine. And I burn you to cinders. I much more prefer, like, the official artwork of Delphox than the 3D model. Because the 3D model has her hair tufts and her ears way too fucking big. Actually, I'm getting pretty good frame rates here. Actually faster than normal. 36 FPS, 37 FPS. It normally runs at 30. 44 FPS at this up to. 62, holy shit. Yeah, these are just kind of the boring, like, get in my way battles. That's one of the biggest things that I never really liked about Pokemon, and it's probably the one thing that I've complained about ever since I started playing, is the unavoidable trainer battles. I fully believe that every single trainer, with the exception of the ones that are in the way for plot reasons, should have an option to say no when they ask you to battle. I don't believe that you should be forced to battle a trainer, ever. I believe that it should be completely up to you, your choice, and I really hope that that is something they change in Sword and Shield. And as much as I bitched about that game, and I will continue to do so until I get my hands on it, well, I'm still going to get my hands on it, so clearly I'm not going to bitch about it too much to not play it. Unfortunately, as much as I've been complaining about the aspects of that game, a lot of it has been just, like, opinions that other people have been shoving down my throat from the videos that I've been watching on YouTube and whatnot. And I mean, my only actual real complaint that is personal to me is the fact that you can't have every Pokemon in the game as of right now, but that can be rectified at a later point, so I'm not as concerned about that. The rest of it was like the animations, whoop-de-dingle-doo, I don't really care. I think does it look good for a fucking Switch game? No. But then again, I was never really adamant about aesthetics when it came to Pokemon in the first place. I'm saying this fucking shit always months later. I'm going to be uploading 2 to 3 videos of this Let's Play until it's completed. Also, Lily is going to be brave for us now. Alright. So Lily's gonna be brave, I got an order from eBay. And of course, it's my fucking least favorite Pokemon, Murkrow. Well, no. Not my least favorite Pokemon, it's just a Pokemon that exemplifies a part of my life that I'd rather forget. 4 years of my life I can't get back. Just run past him, yeah, there you go, dumb bitch. It ain't like they're gonna fucking stab you. Oh, good lord, my burps are getting annoying. Honestly, with the way that they made Ultra Sun and Moon, there's literally no reason to play Sun and Moon anymore. Like, it was a little bit different with some other ones, with some of the other past games. Like, Gold and Silver, you know, were not, I'm looking at it this way. Red and Blue were not forgotten just because green or yellow was a thing. Gold and Silver were definitely not swept aside just because Crystal was a thing. Same thing with Ruby and Sapphire with Emerald. Same thing with fucking Diamond and Pearl with Platinum, although Platinum is still the definitive version of the game. I mean, Diamond and Pearl has more issues than Platinum does, so it's a little bit more of a tricky situation to talk about. But it's not like in the case with some other games like that. But in the case of Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, there were so many things added in Ultra Sun, in the Ultra games, that it's like, I mean, especially just taking the fact that there's 5 Pokemon that are not in the original games. Fucking Blasphalon, Stakataka, Poipole, Naganadel, and Zeraora. None of those Pokemon are in the original Sun and Moon, and also this is what the fucking Team Skull grunts look like when they're just in their normal punk attire. I'd prefer if she still had her fucking mask on. Anyway. But like, there's just differences in Ultra Sun that they didn't even need to, like... They could have just released Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They didn't even need... Or they could have just made Sun and Moon what Ultra Sun and Moon ended up being. And then released a third one called Pokemon Star, which is kind of what they should have done with X and Y and made Pokemon Z as well, but they didn't do that either. I still hold true to my opinion that X and Y were a test generation for Nintendo and Game Freak, though, because they weren't sure about how Pokemon would look like on a 3D plane on a handheld console. I mean, they had experience with 3D when it came to the Stadium games, Battle Revolution, and XD Coliseum, which are all 5 still some of my favorite fucking games of all time. Well, maybe not Battle Revolution more so, but the other 4 are definitely some of the best games ever. They didn't have much experience with an RPG format, at least in the term of the normal format that the main series is known for, which is the gym leader, or in this case, they just called it something different. The fucking trials, they're just the same thing. They're the same thing as the gyms. They just called them something different. But I did like the premise of, like, the trials and the grand trials. You know, like, it's like you're fighting the Elite Four individually throughout the game. Granted, their respective fights are not anywhere near as tough as they could have been. I mean, if you ask me, like in the case of some of the trainers like Hala could have just been, you know, the normal, whatever his level is, Pokemon or whatever. But like after that, you kind of get the idea of what's going on. And I feel that the Kahunas should have been a level spike. Like, only them, though. Like, just them being the level spike. And then after you go after them, it kind of goes back to the way it was before you fought them. But the way that it is in the game now, I mean, they're not much higher level or anywhere tougher than the regular trainers you fight in the game before that. So I think that was a really big missed opportunity there, because they could have done a lot better with, like, kind of fleshing that part of the game out a little bit more. Like, the Kahunas are supposed to be these extremely powerful trainers that are chosen specifically by the Tapus to guard the island, and then you can wipe them out in, like, less than 2 minutes. It just seems really lackluster. Which goes to the sense of, like, Game Freak making Pokemon easier and easier as it got older. I still maintain that as far as challenge is concerned, Pokemon Platinum had the best balance of challenge of any of the Pokemon games. The reason is because of the fucking disgustingly overpowered Cynthia. Like, she was just too strong. Just too fucking strong. Had a perfectly diverse team with one Pokemon that didn't even have any fucking weaknesses on it in the first place. All kinds of shit like that. Like, she was a fucking great trainer, and, like, the trainers in that game, like... Okay, so a thing that I've noticed with Pokemon is that the battles up to the Elite Four, like, they've all the Pokemon games have done it differently. Like, Pokemon Red and Blue had a pretty decent gap in level between when you're finished with the Elite Four, or when you finish with the Victory Road, and when you actually are supposed to take on the Elite Four. It was a pretty big gap in power there. Because I remember, I'm also going to go on Fire Red and Leaf Green for this one. The Pokemon in the Victory Road are in the mid-40s, meanwhile the Elite Four end in the fucking low 60s. Which is a really big level jump, because even a 2-level difference can mean the difference between you getting your ass kicked or you kicking ass in this game. They pretty much threw that out the window later on, though. I don't know if it's because of power creep or because of so many Pokemon getting, you know, stronger, I guess, because I will always say that X and Y had the weakest Elite Four and Champion comparative to all the Pokemon in the region, because you could get access to all 4 of the pseudo-legendaries. You could get access to Dragonite, Metagross, Tyranitar, Garchomp even, and a bunch of other like really stupidly powerful Pokemon on top of the regional legendary before ever facing the Elite Four in that game. And, you know, Xerneas has that broken-ass ability, Fairy Aura, which doubles the power of its Fairy-type moves, which basically means that every Fairy move that he uses is super effective. And same thing with fucking Yveltal, where it has the same problem with its Dark moves with Dark Aura. And, like, this kind of, like, essentially made them the weakest Elite Four and Champion, compared to who I consider to be the strongest Elite Four and Champion, which will probably be Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphires. Not Emerald or Ruby and Sapphire, but Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because anytime that the Elite Four and Champion bump in level after you beat them the first time, that's, to me, the greater challenge. They did that with, Black and White and Black and White 2. They did that with Gen 4. They did it with Gen 6, kinda. And then they did it for Gen 7, kinda. But they did it a lot differently in, like, Gen 4, because, like, in Gen 4, I believe, like, the first trainer is at, like, level 42, and then Cynthia's, like, 60-something, but then you fucking beat them and come back, and they're, like, all 10 levels higher than that? It's insane. Also, Wailord is so fucking tiny in this damn game. It's so fucking sad. The gigantic whale monster has been diminished to nothing more than a shell of its former self. Oh, I think I remember this fucking Glaceon. Can't remember what it does, but I know it was a pain in the ass. Frost Breath, that's right. That's one of the things it does, anyway. Critical hit, special base ice move coming off a 130 base special attack stat. Plus stab. Ah, damn it. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Foxy girl. Incinerate this ice fox alive. I can't even do that fucking noise. But anyway, what I was saying. Like, the Elite Four is supposed to be the final challenge in a Pokemon game, right? So, what the fuck? How did that not one-hit KO that thing? I know I'm only 4 levels, or 6 levels higher than it, but that should have one-hit KO'd. Eh, fuck it. I'm so used to one-hit KOing my opponents in Pokemon games now that it's so weird when I don't. Like in Pokemon, you really have to actively limit yourself to make the game harder, which is a pain. I don't like having to do that just to make the game more challenging, but to be honest, once you get up to level 80 or 90, there's nothing in the game, in the story of the game anyway, that's gonna fucking pose any challenge to you whatsoever. It's only like the post-game stuff with like the battle tree, battle frontier, battle tower, battle facility, whatever. Any of those battle thingies, those are the only things that are going to give you a challenge because your opponents become equal level to you with competitive move sets on most of the Pokemon you fight. At least for the later stages and things like the battle tower and the battle pyramids. But, I mean, when it comes to like the regular trainers, once you approach level 75 to 80, there's nothing that's going to fuck with you anymore. You are pretty much unbeatable at that point. I mean, what can possibly stop you at that point? Because none of the legendaries in the entire series go higher than level 80. And the only two that even do that are the Arceus from fucking Pokemon Platinum, which the event was never even officially released, though I do have a video on it. And then the fucking Deoxys from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which you already have a Master Ball saved up, and you fight it with a fucking Rayquaza in its Mega form in space. So, I mean, there's nothing that's really going to challenge you. And I think that's the biggest problem with Pokemon as an RPG series, is that the way that they organized, like, the system itself. I still love the battle system. I love the rock, paper, scissors element kind of thing to it. Memorizing type effectiveness and yada yada yada. I love that. But when you think about other RPGs, like, I don't know, fucking name a real-time RPG of any kind, where you have to actively think about what you're doing and what your opponent's doing at the same time. Turn-based RPGs inherently have a problem like that, where you end up relying mostly on pre-picked strategies before the battle began, rather than things that you learned along the journey, because in Pokemon's case, in some RPGs, you don't even have to level up to be powerful. In Pokemon, you do, and at the same time, okay, I'll put it this way. In Xenoblade Chronicles 2, in Xenoblade 2, because I know I don't shut the fuck up about that game, I swear. In Xenoblade 2, you are forced into an area in the city of Gormont, where you are straight up just thrust into areas where there are level 40 and above monsters just walking around in the normal areas where you have to trek through. And then there's fucking level 75 giant bird thing, a level 81 fucking super boss, and a level 90 fucking Tyrannosaurus just wandering the plains. And you're level fucking 6 or 10 when you land there. That alone should tell you, like, okay, that game is kind of bullshit. It wants me to, like, be super fucking high level. But in Pokemon, you don't have that option. You don't go into areas where you can get your ass kicked, because areas have a very linear progression in the level system. But in the case of other RPGs, you can go into areas that you're normally not supposed to be in and actually get the taste of getting your fucking ass handed to you by Pokemon, or rather opponents that are much higher level than you. However, in Pokemon, it scales with your progression. Like, you're expected to be at specific levels at specific times in specific areas. And everything progresses very slowly in a very linear fashion. None of the things that happen in Pokemon games really test you in a way that they do in other RPGs like Final Fantasy or Xenoblade 2. In the case of those RPGs, you're faced with very tough-to-defeat opponents that can take anywhere from a few minutes to half an hour to beat. In Pokemon, that's not how that works. See, I've just been noticing a lot more of the flaws in Pokemon. I mean, my biggest thing is that I love Pokemon because it's fucking Pokemon, and it's literally been my childhood ever since I'm able to fucking form words. So it's a little different for me personally because I'm so blinded by the nostalgia of the concept of Pokemon that I don't really notice much of its flaws until I point them out in videos like this, where I can actually start thinking about things more critically. But in the sense of, like, what is fair to the game, a lot of different aspects are, like, the biggest reason I like Pokemon is because of the creatures. And that is the standpoint that I hold true to anyone who likes this series, is that if you don't like the Pokemon themselves, you will never like the game. Because Pokemon is about the Pokemon, which is why the fucking National Dex debacle with Sword and Shield angers me so much, because they're missing the point of the damn game. That's why I fucking titled that video the way that I did. They're missing the point of Pokemon by not having all the Pokemon in the game. I mean, so what if we're approaching nearly 1,000? Delay the game a few months, patch them all in. I don't care what you gotta do, just do it. I mean, for God's sakes, I always bring this up with Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 4 is delayed God knows how long. There's not been any news on it in months. Actually, longer than that. I don't think we've heard anything since they told us that it was going to be fucking change development. I think they mentioned something about, like, on their Twitter, like Retro Studios was like, hey, we're looking for editors and whatever, blah, 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 blah. But outside of that, I don't think anything's been mentioned about the fucking development of the game. But I'm still... The fuck was that? I'm still hella hyped for the game regardless, because Metroid Prime 4 can come out in 2024 for all I care, and I'll still want to play it. Because it's Metroid Prime fucking 4. But I want that same excitement with fucking Pokemon Sword and Shield And Game Freak doesn't want me to have that excitement. They want to screw everyone on this and make petty excuses and bullshit explanations for shit that should never have been made excused in the first place. Because Game Freak is putting the game out too fast and cutting corners because of the Pokemon name itself. Like, Metroid doesn't have like a fucking trading card game or plushies or toys or a television show that it has to worry about contending with, but Pokemon does. And because of that, it's delaying the game. It's ruining the game because it's sucking the life out of everything else because everything else can't get delayed. Hey, that's what happens when you turn a fucking collection of little animals and turn them into the biggest moneymaker in the fucking history of Earth. Like, outside of, like, as far as media franchises go, this fucking series makes more money than everything. Everything else, including fucking, well, everything. I mean, there's nothing that makes more. I mean, even Disney and Marvel and fucking Mickey Mouse and all that shit make less. I mean, that tells you enough as it is, doesn't it? How fucking popular this fucking series is. And I suppose that just from the overpopularity of it, it can garner that type of hatred. I personally can't hate the game, though. I mean, although I am noticing that, you know, in certain cases, I am starting to drift a little bit away from Pokemon. If Sword and Shield didn't have the issue that it's been having, I would be way more enthusiastic about Pokemon than I'd had in years. Because I finally have a console that plays a main series Pokemon game. I mean, the 3DS, my DS, Game Boy. What the fuck was that? Okay. Sorry, guys. I just heard a very loud bumping noise outside my door. I'm gonna stay in here. Because that made me pretty nervous. In fact, after this, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video because now I'm a little paranoid. Whew. Okay. Anyway, I'm actually going to go ahead and swap out Primarina here, because she's not going to be able to do much of this fucking thing. But, Solgaleo will, with Flare Blitz. Since Scizor put up Light Screen, I can't really go with fucking Delphox, although it probably would still kill it. It might not kill it, but it would still at least cut it more than half. But Solgaleo's Flare Blitz is a physical move, so it doesn't have that problem with Light Screen that Flamethrower will on Delphox. Plus, Solgaleo's attack stat is way higher than Delphox's special attack stat, and Flare Blitz does more damage base-wise than Flamethrower as well. 30% more, in fact. So, you're dead. All this numbers business amounts to a dead Scizor. Yes, I have the power of the sun on my side. See, I love, like, the designs of the Pokemon, how badass they look, how cute they look, how fun they look to be around, and the lore of the story that's hidden within context of the games and shit. You know, hidden in supplementary material and all kinds of stuff like that. I like that kind of shit because that's just what makes Pokemon fun to me. I might produce a separate video kind of ranting about these kind of things that I've addressed in this video, since this video is not going to come out for months. Post-recording, but I think I'm actually going to go to bed because that fucking noise literally scared the poop out of me, and I farted, and it was scary. So I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like to support the channel, links to my Twitter and my Patreon will be in the description down below. Support me with the ability to, and if you guys have any ideas for future content, please do not be afraid to leave your suggestions in the comments or any video that I produce or own or anything. Let me know if you guys want to see anything and what that thing might be, and until next time, this has been ZDS, making it fun one video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next video.